This is the regular meeting of the Arts and Culture Commission. Today is Thursday, November 16th. Seeing a quorum, this meeting is officially called to order. Madam Recording Secretary, please take roll call.
Commissioner McNair,
Here.
Commissioner Russell,
Here.
Commissioner Wu,
Here.
Commissioner Lopez Guerra,
Here.
Commissioner Hernandez, Commissioner Rivera.
Here.
Thank you. We have quorum.
Thank you. Please rise and to join in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, members of the public may address the Arts and Culture Commission regarding any non-agenda items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the committee. No action may be taken on non-agenda items unless authorized by law. Madam Recording Secretary, does the public have any comments they wish to share with the commission? Please know that you have 3 minutes to speak.
We have none.
Okay, hearing none, we're going to go to our consent calendar. Do I have a motion to consider item number 1 on the consent calendar?
I motion.
Thank you, Vice Chair Vu. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Commissioner Lopez Guerra. Madam Recording, Secretary. Oh, is there any discussion? My apologies. Okay, let's take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I forgot to say aye myself. Any abstains? Okay, passes. We have 2 items under work study session. Please note that there will be no motion or action taken on these items. The first item under work study session is Investing in the Artist Grant 2023-24 grantee presentations. Staff is taking care of it. Tram will take care of it. Thank you, audience, for your patience. We're almost there.
Okay, let me just make sure this works before we, okay, great. Terrific. Let me start, somebody's gonna start my 3 minutes, right? Okay. Okay. Okay, great. Well, thank you all, council. I'm so excited to be here. I am Craig Holland, Managing Director of the Wayward Artist. We are based right here in Santa Ana, and our theater is in the Grand Central Arts Center. If you haven't been out to see a show, please do. In fact, I'm going to pitch one of our shows at the end of this. We are so excited that we got approval for this grant to continue our work working with theater for young audiences. And I'll go over a little bit about the play that's in development that we will be working on throughout the year. It's called Bird Brain, as you can see there. And I'll just give a little bit of an overview of the story. That's not working. All right. There we go. Okay. All right, what is Bird Brain? Bird Brain is a musical comedy for young theater audiences and families. Bird Brain is the story of Cora, a cockatoo, whose human friend is Grandma Avery. One day, Cora accidentally knocks over a valuable orchid plant. Grandma is so angry with Cora that she calls her a name, Bird Brain. This hurts Cora's feelings, and she flies to be with her bird friends who try to cheer her up. When Grandma's priceless necklace is stolen, Cora becomes a detective to solve the mystery and earn back Grandma's love and respect. Each of Cora's bird friends try to assist with the investigation, but they are no help at all. Finally, through a mimicking trick, Cora figures out who took the necklace. Grandma apologizes to Cora and is forever grateful for her clever bird friend. And I do have copies of this presentation for everybody, so we won't go through every page in detail, given the amount of time, but I do want to just give you a quick glance at the birds. And I also will show you one of the puppets. This is all going to be performed with puppets. I'll just go back to that. All performed by puppeteers who will act, sing, and dance. And if you can imagine, for example, the puppeteer that would be playing this character would either dress in all black or would dress in white and yellow to accent the bird character. Each one of the characters has a unique personality. They all sing, they all have their own dances and songs, and they also sing together. This character, Duck, Tico, is bilingual from Costa Rica, and there will be some Spanish language in the play itself. Victor, we did test all of these with kids, by the way, and this character, they really liked, even though they were afraid of it. They like to be scared. So Victor the vulture is one of our characters, and we also have Dude the dodo, and I actually will show you that in a minute. But just to kind of go over the project, get a sense of what we're doing, we're going to go out to there's 3 phases to it. We're going to go out to Santa Ana Unified School District in the spring. We're going to tour with some of the numbers and go into several of the schools there. Then we're going to do a youth summer camp. We did that last summer. We're going to do it again. It was very successful. We like to focus on 4th and 5th graders, but they'll all be from Santa Ana Unified Schools school system. And then in the end of the year, we'll do a full production of Bird Brain. We will invite all residents of Santa Ana that will be free. And then we will also invite those kids that go to camp to come back to us, speak with the actors, the crew, and learn about how to put on a full professional production. And that's it. That's my presentation tonight. Any questions? Oh, yes, I do have to do that. Sorry. Thank you for reminding me. And this is Dude the dodo.
Voices, great.
I am not a puppeteer, but you can come see the show. They're all professional quality from a company that manufactures them for actually ventriloquists and magicians. So they're very high-end puppets. And if anybody wants to come up and see, you can see they're made out of latex and actually real feathers as well. All right. So here are the presentations, copies here. And then also I did have, also wanted to tell everybody about a show coming up that is called Pirates and Leprechauns. And that's in December, just a couple weeks away, great holiday event. And it is also a theater for young audiences show. So I have those outside as well. And I believe I have the press releases in there. Yes, there's the press releases, yes. That'll tell you all about the show as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do any of the commissioners have a comment?
Yeah, do you have questions or comments? Yeah.
I have a comment.
Okay,
I'm going to take off my commissioner hat and wear my Santa Ana Unified School District hat
okay.
and say, as the arts administrator for the district, I look forward to hearing from you about this beautiful and amazing experience that we hope to bring to our students.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yes.
I know you know Craig Carroll very well,
Yes.
and we were definitely going to come to you. And Lisa Slay, who is a teaching artist, is very experienced, has been into a lot of the schools as well. So yes, we will definitely be in touch.
Great. And we hope to capture, now putting on my commissioner hat, we hope to capture a lot of information and because we want to share this
Sure.
and get this out so it will be widely experienced in the community. So, and it just as part of our investing in the artist to capture what we're doing, to tell the story of this commission, being able to support such things as this.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you all so much. It is wonderful to get the support. All right. Thank you.
Sorry, Commissioner Vu has a, Vice Chair Vu has a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My apologies for missing it.
I just want to say that this looks wonderful and amazing. And thank you for like bringing forth what I feel to be like a slowly dying art of musicals and puppeteering. I don't know, like it just brings me back to like Jim Henson
Yeah.
of my childhood. And I just don't know if children get that joy from puppets anymore, but this definitely has that energy. So thank you so much for putting this together.
Thank you. I too am a big fan. You know, I'm just a kid. It's my favorite type of entertainment is puppets and that kind of thing. So
It's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. We have a puppet guild in Orange County. And to that end, I loved having a queue at Wayward Artist, but we can't take our kids to that.
No.
so
It-
I appreciate that adults enjoy it, but this is great for the kids. Thank you.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I want to just
Okay.
add to that. As a mom with two small children, we often are going out of the city to go to children's theater events. And so what a great joy to know that we don't have to now. And we hope to see more events like this in the future.
Excellent. Yes, agreed. Yeah, there's not enough opportunity to take our kids to live entertainment, period. So it's wonderful that you guys are supporting that we can bring that back. And when children get the experience of live entertainment, that's a very different thing than watching a screen, right? If we can get them the experience of being involved in the art. So a lot of good will come. So thank you. Anything else? Okay, thank you.
You can really go now. Okay. Do we have another additional?
Yes.
Okay.
Next person is Nate Greensides, sorry, from Cooperación Senate.
Test this device here. All right, perfect. Hi, everybody. My name is Nate Greensides. I am the Grants and Data Coordinator with Cooperación Santa Ana. And we are a local nonprofit organization which envisions a strong, locally owned shared economy where products and services are created with dignity and respect for the people who work them and the planet which sustains us. We offer training, coaching, and incubation for worker-owned cooperatives, and we organize a cooperative network and a fund governed by Orange County Cooperatives. So what you'll see here on the screen is an artist rendition, an architectural rendition of what will be known as the Walnut and Daisy site, where there's various logos that you see there on the bottom. A lot of worker cooperatives will exist, and it was developed using community proposed redevelopment. And the three aspects that I want to highlight of the site to come into existence is urban farming, community ownership, and the community land trust model. And so urban farming is self-explanatory, but what's special about it in this situation is that it'll be operated by a cooperative called Crece, a cooperative called Crece. And the second aspect, like I mentioned, community ownership. Community has been sought, resident input has always been sought prior to the site even being picked. After the site was picked, the process was explained and further input was sought as to how we could use the space. And then as the site is being constructed nowadays, we've always sought input from residents. And one of the aspects that residents incorporated was art, community art. And so here on this slide, you'll see that the idea for community art was first inspired by the work of Carlos Zerpa, which ties together cooperation and participatory art in a project known as Chamba. And so all the worker owners who gave input on this project were really excited to work with him on the video chats, various meetings that were had. And then the project kind of grew from there to include more artists and do bigger in-person collaboration with residents and community members. And so with the grant that we'll be receiving, there are 2 participatory art creation events which will be funded. The aim of these art activities and events is to highlight the theme of cooperation and what it means to residents. In addition to connecting community members and creating original artwork alongside local, regional, and international artists to amplify the messages of cooperation and collectivism. Our first art making event will happen hopefully this time next year, by this time next year. And it'll take place in Ward 3 at the currently existing Granjita Urban Farm, which is being operated by Crece. It'll include the replanting of a succulent wall at the urban farm led by artist Priscilla Hernandez and Crece's team of farmers. Santa Ana residents will create their own artwork with a theme of cooperation, conceptualized in coordination with IA Global. And the art will be installed and displayed alongside other artists' work at an outdoor art gallery show the following month at the Juana and Daisy site. That photo you see there is the currently existing farm in Ward 3. So the second art event that will take place will be a part of the inauguration of the Juana and Daisy space once construction is completed. And that will take place in Ward 5 at the Casa Bonita neighborhood. The event will include art installations and displays of the pieces which were created by the artists as I described a bit earlier. And a community mural will be installed by somebody you might be familiar with. His name is Moises Camacho. And then there will be a second community planted succulent wall, again, created with, again, Priscilla Hernandez as the lead. And the photos you see there are the space prior to construction starting. It's currently under construction. And you'll see there that there were various community art events that have been where residents offered their input as to how the space should be used. And so, as the slide says here, it's the first community land trust project in Santa Ana. The Juana and Daisy project is currently under construction and plans to inaugurate the space in early to mid 2024. And what's unique about the project is that it is piloting community-led development in our city. Resident input has always been sought prior to the site selection. Like I mentioned, once it was selected, community input was sought all throughout the site procurement process. And after the site was procured with the city, the development process at every single point has sought and incorporated resident input. And while it might take place at a slower pace than most other redevelopment projects, it is more responsible and representative of residents and community desires and needs. The art and culture aspects of the site development is no exception either, with not only community-based professional artists having representation on the site, but also representation of art created by residents themselves too. Thank you.
I have a question, if I may. I'm very excited to see this. I think it creates ownership and grounding for a lot of our families and our youth. So I'm just looking forward to being part of it, but I'm also looking forward to seeing how you're engaging a broader spectrum of people and not just your traditional ones, but maybe really reaching out, and I'm sure you're already on it, so that you do have those families who sometimes don't feel like they're part of the community. I'm looking forward to this, and congratulations. Thank you.
Absolutely, thanks.
Similarly, I'm very excited to see this community land trust model be built out and hopefully be a model that we can develop for further land acquisitions, other parcels of land throughout the city to really have community-based development be at the center of the development in our city. So thank you for all the great work you've been doing on this. I'm so excited to see what's to come.
I echo that and want to, again, encourage you to please help us tell the story so we can share the great work and build the capacity to do more of this within our community, tying in the artists and all the aspects of the community building that you're doing. Beautiful work, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you have dates already determined?
Yeah, so as a part of the application process, we projected out that by late September of next year, the first event will have taken place. And then mural creation, of course, is not going to happen overnight. So we project that'll take up to a week. And so then hopefully the second art event will take place by late October. And hopefully that mural will be unveiled and the grand inauguration of the space with all the community art included will be present as well.
I look forward to being there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any more presentations? Okay.
Also, I want to just remind everybody to push their, so that the folks that, I hope, if it wasn't.
Thank you. Okay, the second item under the work study session is the Arts and Culture Special Events Sponsorship allocations for November 2023. Tram, guide us through this, please.
Thank you, Chair McNair. So this month, we had 5 out of 8 applications approved for sponsorship funding. And you'll see on the screen there, again, in no particular order, is the first one is New Song Church for their event Winter Song Holiday Market, approved in the amount of $5,500. The second one is Musicians Club of Orange County for their event Main Street Community Concert Series, with an approved amount of $8,343. The third one is Chantrell Lewis for her event Cafe y Cante Live Music Night in the amount of $4,000. The fourth one is Alicia Rojas for her event Celebrating Las Pandorosas de Latino Health Access in the amount of $7,000. And finally, the fifth grant awardee is Bowers Museum for their event Lunar New Year Family Festival in the amount of $4,000. So we actually have, and again, it's wonderful that we have new grantees who've never received funding from the city ever before. In this list alone, 4 out of 5 have never received money from the city. So great job, commissioners, in recognizing that and helping more groups in the city do art. And so we actually have over $44,000 left. So that's good for one more round, it seems, because this round we spent only, there was a total of $28,843 given out in sponsorship funding. So we might even have two more rounds, but there's still money left to go forward. So this now brings us to a total of 24 grant recipients of sponsorship out of a total of 28 applications. So that's a great record for funding. So far up to this November, in September was 8, October was 11, and November this month is 5. And that's it for that. Any questions, commissioners?
I have one question.
Yes.
I know in the past, I think, a year ago, when we were looking at the previous sponsorship rounds, we talked a lot about, we want a balance of commercial, but we don't want something that is, I think even you mentioned that there were applications that were rejected because they just came across as too commercial, not enough sort of arts experience. And I'm just curious if that is something that is still, something we're still thinking about, or is something you're communicating to the applicants?
I'm sorry, can you ask that question one more time? If we're
Like, I'm just looking at the very first one,
Yes.
which is a holiday market.
Mhm.
And I know in the past, I believe there was an application in the past that was not accepted, or, didn't get enough yeses because it came across as more of a commercial endeavor than an arts endeavor. And I'm just curious where we stand on that idea.
This one, I believe for these applications, if I read them correctly, they were all free and open to the public. So, and they offered free arts activities and all of that. So I think that still stands. I think we still try not to be supporting simply a business being out there selling their wares.
Yeah.
But so you're correct, Commissioner. But I think these were offering some more than just that.
Any further questions?
Mine's gonna be super quick, I promise, but moving forward, one of the issues that I had, and I had already expressed, is the lack of details and what I felt the expectation of the total amount coming from the grant, and I really struggle with that. Moving forward, I would really like to see additional details on how they're going to reach out and really engage the particular wards that they're talking about, and not just saying like it's gonna be all of Santa Ana. So for next year, what I'm planning and hoping is that as we move forward and really define how we grant these, that also we start balancing not only the private and public, but also how this is distributed throughout the different age groups and wards. I would really like to see that just, and then an additional level would be different groups, but I would really like to just start with the easy entryway.
One of the thi- It looked
That's the
important.
universal symbol for, I need to say something.
I think one of the things that's important to clarify about the sponsorships compared to the grants is when we get the grants, we know well in advance, we have control over those. The sponsorships are coming in monthly. So it's hard to determine who's going to apply that month and be able to account for those pieces. Also, in this particular round, I saw people that had applied to give space for artists to make funding, but not take in funding for themselves. So it was a chance for artists to be recognized, to be able to do that. And I guess what's the best way that we can reach out and activate our networks so we encourage more people to apply and we can have broader representation of all walks and all areas in Santa Ana. All right, well, any further comments?
Yeah, I have a comment now. So kind of building off of what Commissioner Lopez Guerra was saying, for myself in particular, when I'm looking at these sponsorship applications, and I'm looking at the budgets in particular, one thing I am really more keen to fund is when they are giving those stipends to artists, when they are making sure that there are activities for children, for families. I'm less keen on funding marketing materials or costs and fees. I do understand also like sponsorships as offsetting permit fees, especially ones that come through the city. I think that's entirely appropriate. But there's just been a lot of line items in these budgets that have been submitted that I really think these organizations, when they largely come from organizations, really should be funding through their own means or other means other than the city itself.
I can add to that. And I don't remember, forgive me for not writing this down, but one of the sponsorships did include a significant chunk for like rental chairs and rental, if anyone remembers that. And I just remember thinking again, so, you know, we're using arts and culture money, not for arts and culture, but, you know, for seating. And those little details just, you know, leaned me against, you know, whether the idea was really great when you looked at the budget and you thought, you know, I want this money to go toward the experience people are going to have with arts, not just an event, not just something fun, but really something that's hopefully giving folks experiences that they wouldn't have if we didn't have this money.
Those are excellent reminders. And just in that same vein, to underscore, this funding is not to create or support in total an entire event. It's to augment and supplement and elevate things, to give a little bit of seed money, but to be looking for sustainability. You can't rely just on sponsorships because this is one and done. So you got to have lots of resources to look for sustainability.
Thank you for emphasizing, reiterating that point, Chair. And I think it is reflected in the amount that is approved. Your comment, Commissioner Russell and Chair McNair, and also Commissioner Lopez Guerra, is that clearly you're funding certain parts only. That's why they're not getting the full amount. And yes, that needs to be clear, that they need to have other forms of funding, other sources of funding.
Right, we're down to get the arts happening and look for other things, other sources too. So, all right, thank you. Does the staff have any comments they wish to share with the commission?
Not at the moment. Although I think there's a tree, the
Well, the tree lighting.
tree lighting this weekend.
Yes. Gosh. Plaza Navideña.
There you
Sorry.
go. Yeah, Plaza Navideña.
Happens every year. We actually have youth there performing for the tree lighting ceremony, which happens on Saturday.
You have a question?
I do. I just happened to notice that one of our previous, and I think it was a sponsorship, was OSHA.
Mhm.
And they've just started to promote the event that they're hosting in January. But when it came to acknowledging where some of the funding came from, they identified our contribution as Revive Santa Ana.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yes,
Got it, okay.
because
Just wanted
that
to
was a
be clear.
city, yeah, coming from a city
Just-
thing because the funding was from ARPA.
Got it. I just wanted to make sure that I was on the
Yeah.
same page. there. Well, there's also the Tamale Fest, I believe, is happening in December, on December 16th, which is another great event that did we help sponsor that this year?
I'm sorry, which one?
The Tamale Fest?
Yes, I think last round or
Yeah.
2 round. Yeah, last round
Yeah.
you gave for.
And then
Tapas.
the OSHA Community Arts Festival is January 13th. I know we might be meeting before then, but just wanted to-
So thank you thank you, Commissioner Russell, for leading us into the next portion of our agenda, which is commission member comments. So would you like to extend any of your comments? Thank you. Any other?
So I want to first kind of return to my comment from last month. Last month, I spoke briefly on what has been happening in Palestine. And in the week since then, the death toll has only increased to unimaginable numbers in such a short amount of time. And I want to invite everyone once again, because there are ongoing events constantly throughout the globe, to be quite honest, opportunities for education, opportunities to get involved. There currently is one such opportunity right now happening right in front of the Santa Ana Library, in front of the statue of Alex O'Day. And as part of like arts and culture, I just want to share with folks who Alex O'Day was. He was a Palestinian activist and educator who lived here in Orange County, and he was tragically assassinated by bomb in 1985. And to this day, his murderers have never been caught, have never been arrested, have never been prosecuted. And so that is just one person, a short description of a part of one person's life that really speaks to the last 75 years of ongoing genocide of Palestinians in their homes. And so I really hope that you all take this opportunity to learn more about Palestinian history, of Arab American history, and figure out how you personally can support these efforts to call for a ceasefire and just end this needless suffering happening. One more thing, there's another opportunity also today at 7 p.m. at El Centro Cultural de Mexico, just down the street from here. There is going to be a study session on a book that is written about Palestinian history. So if you're available for that, I invite you all to come as well.
Thank you.
I'm glad Nate's still here. I was processing a word, so I couldn't quite speak when you were presenting, but excited about what Craig shared, again, really highlighting the fact that we don't have a lot of opportunities for children to be involved and the young theater to really explore, but really excited about what Nate presented with the Cooperación. There was a word you used, that's where I got stuck, so I had no comment earlier, dignity. You use the word dignity. And when we talk about community engagement, so much of the time we do community, but we don't partner with community. And engagement involves a level of relationship building and trust that allows for dignity to come to the table. And just really want to celebrate the work that you're doing as a space that invites everyone to be involved. And I'm excited to visit once it's actually there. And also what we know to be true is access to fresh produce in many of our communities. Again, with WIC, we can go buy, the fast food, we can get some of the perishables, but where can we get that organic food to supplement the meals that we eat? So I got stuck on the word dignity, but I'm really glad you're here because I can tell you and make public comments of just how excited I am. So I think I'm just excited to see, I appreciate the opportunity that you've brought to bring grantees to come and share with us. I wasn't here last year, so I wasn't here when the funding had happened, but now to be involved and understand what's happening in our city just makes me happy. So thank you.
And with that, taking into consideration the gravity of things that are going on in the world and the beautiful things that our community is doing to create spaces of communing and having dignity and coming together, I just want to note that with at least in our youth are engaging in a lot of holiday arts activities and celebrations. And it's wonderful when we can create their arts and culture learning while they're young and experiencing things and tie them into these kinds of experiences. So I do want to remind everyone that it is tradition for us to go dark in December. So we will not be meeting in December. However, we will be working because we have some sponsorships to approve. So we want to encourage everybody, please, please submit. We want to grant the funds. So we're willing to do the work, and then those funds will be announced. The awardees will be announced. Tram will make sure that everybody gets notified, and we'll celebrate that when we return in January. So I guess with that, we need to wish everyone a very, the holiday season, to take care of you and yours, and we wish everyone well, and I'll conclude with that. So thank you, everybody. This meeting is officially adjourned. The next regular meeting will be, I don't have that date, January something, the third Thursday in January at 5:30 p.m.